Hi. In today's lecture, let us focus on how to create budget in Tally. Budgets are an extremely powerful feature that help organizations to plan, monitor and control their financial performance. So, as you all aware, budget help company to record their plan performance and compare their actual performance with the plan performance so that any deviations or difference can be identified and corrective actions can be taken. For example, a marketing department can set a budget related to their expenses and they can compare their actual expenses with the budgeted expenses. A sales department having multiple products in their hand, they can set a budget, a plan about how much sales they expect from each of their products, and then later they can compare their actual performance with the budget to see, to verify whether their plans and budgets are going as per the track. If there is a deviation, if they find that one product it's not moving as they planned, the sales of that product is not moving as per their planned, they can take corrective actions in order to, in order to correct the deviations or the variations or the differences. So budgets are powerful tool, and Tally offers the feature to create and view budgets at any point of time. So let us create a company and see how we can create budget. We can have a budget for the overall organization. We can have budgets. We can create budget for a particular department or division. We can create budget for an activity. We can create budget for sales or an expense or for a particular department, as I said. So let us initially look into how to create a budget, and then later we'll look at how reports are generated, comparing the actual performance with the budgeted performance in Tally. So first thing first, let us create a company. You can see on your screen, I have created a company, ABC company, which is located in Muscat. Financial year beginning from 1st January 2025, and also the books beginning on the same date. And as normal, we create the company. Once we enter all the relevant informations, we press enter again, and the system asks us whether to accept the detail. We say yes, and then it will take us to the features option as usual. And we are not going to change the features option, any of these features option. As I said earlier, once we change a particular feature, it will be applicable to all the companies overall. For example, we can create cost centers, we can create discount columns in invoices, we can enable VAT, we can enable and maintain payrolls. These are all settings. These settings are being it's enabled using the feature option. So for time being, we are not making any changes. We just say bill wise entries, we just kept it as no. For the time being, we create a company which has accounts, and we also maintain inventory. So you can press Ctrl A from your keyboard to save the information. Else, you can just scroll down, then accept, and then click yes. All right. In order to create budget from the gateway of Tally, or to create a group or a ledger or a location or a cost unit, cost center, or a stock item, all the options to create all these multiple ledgers and groups are available in masters under the option create. So I just click on create, and normally budgets may not be visible when you click on create. What you need to do is click on show more. So when you click show more, you can find The fourth option under accounting masters, it relates to budget. So click on budget, and immediately on the create option, budget creation, the system will ask you what is the name of a budget, what is the name of this budget that you are going to create. As I said, a company can have multiple budgets. A department, specific department can have their budget. We can create budgets for sales, budget for expenses, budget for a particular cost center. So multiple budgets can be created, and Tally provide the feature to create all these different multiple budgets. So for time being, what I'm doing is I'm just planning to create a corporate budget, and it comes under primary. And this particular budget I just want to create for 3 months, 1st January to 31st March 2025. So the first important information that we need to create, we need to provide, is about the period of budget. It can be an yearly budget, a quarterly budget, or a monthly budget. So as required, as we require, we can create budget for separate periods of time. Now, the first important information system will ask you, once you set the period, are you going to alter budgets for budgets of groups? So for example, I want to create a corporate budget wherein I would like to track my sales and all other income that the company receive, and also their expenses. So I'm setting groups as yes. So the first important group which I would like to set budget for is about sales. So the total closing balance, I'm going to create a budget on closing balance, and I expect that my company will expect to have in 3 months of time, they expect to have a total sale of 200,000. So I set the budget 200,000 is what the company planned for the first 3 months of the financial year. And company also plan, in addition to sale, company also expect indirect income like commission income or the interest income or income from other services. So all this income the company expect, or service of from servicing the products. If it is an electronic company, from the service of electronic item, the company expect an income and indirect income of 100,000 during the first 3 months. So I set the budget for sales, I set the budget for indirect income, and the company may have direct expenses. So I also set a budget for direct expenses, and direct expenses, I believe it the maximum. For example, I want to set the direct expense to 120,000 and indirect expenses. So what we are doing here, we are creating budget for all the income and expenses. So as you can see from the screen, I set budget for sales from the primary activity of the business, sales account, and I kept a budget for an indirect income and direct expenses and indirect expenses. So these are groups. So I expect a total income of 300,000 in the first 3 months, and an expense includes direct and indirect expense of total of 150,000. So once I enter all the groups, then just say yes, and it goes to the ledger option. Now the system is asking whether you would like to create a budget of ledgers. Yes, I said yes here. So again, the system is asking what is the account name. So now you might know that system, when this is a company which I just created. So the groups are already available in Tally, but accounts are not created except the cash account and profit and loss account. No other account will be available. The accounts we need to create manually. So there are no accounts which you can find it here. So you can use the key option From keyboard, you can press Alt C to create an account. For example, I'm going to create under sales, I'm going to create sales account, and it is under sales, and I want to create a total sale of, as we said, the total sale we expect is 200,000. So first we created the group, second one we created, now we are creating the ledgers. So I also had 100,000 indirect income. The indirect income which I expect from this business is, say for example, commission income, which is an indirect income. Commission income of, say for example, 25,000. And let us see service income, service revenue, indirect income of 75,000. So now if you remember the previous the groups that we created budget for sales group, a total budget of 200,000, and for the indirect income we created a total budget of 100,000, which is classified here into commission income and service revenue. Similarly, we created direct expense. So direct expense, say let me keep direct expense as purchase accounts, and direct expense of 120,000, and indirect expenses, let me create salaries, indirect expenses, and salaries of 20,000, and then rent expense, indirect expense of 30,000. So whatever expenses that you set budget, whatever accounts that we set budget, we need to enter, we need to create in this option. So now I have created both the groups and the ledger. Then I can save. Once I finish setting all the requirements, I can save. So once you set the budget, you can view the budget, you can compare the actual performance with the budgeted performance. In multiple records will show the budget comparisons between the budget and the actual performance. For example, if you would like to see the budget performance like sales, we have created a budgeted sales. So if you go to the profit and loss account and click on sales account, on the right side you will find that there is an option to F10 option. F10 from the keyboard, if you press, you will get budget variance. So you can select the budget variance, then you can find on the screen the company's budgeted sale is given here and the actual sale is given on the next column. And if you wish, if you want to add a percentage to that one, show percentages, then you can use show percentages. If you would like to see the transactions, you can also enable transactions using the configuration option. And if you wish to see the expenses, similarly, if you wish to see the expenses on purchases, click on purchases and you will find a budget variance. You can select the budget variance report, wherein you will find the comparison between the actual performance and the budgeted performance. So at any point of time, as an accountant, you can present these details whenever the management requires. You can present these details to the management. And the budget variance is an indication of whether the company is moving ahead with their planned performance or not. So you can actually make use of the budget to monitor and track your performance. Similarly, if you just scroll down to these display more reports, if you go to the trial balance, there also you can find the budget variance, wherein you can select the budget, the budget that you set. The budget. For example, in our case, we kept the corporate budget. So if you click on the corporate budget, then the system will show one column for the budgeted performance and the other column for the actual performance. As I said, you can also use a percentage. So the option allow you to track your current performance with the budgeted performance, and if the performance are not according to what you expected, what you budgeted, corrective actions can be taken care of. So this is how we set. I hope this is clear how to set budgets in Tally, and how to record, how to compare your actual performance of the company with the budgeted performance. In case if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can send me a message, or you can put your comments. Thank you so much.